Hi guys, hope you're well. Welcome to Do Daily Wednesday workout. It's Des here. Just finished a 5k run, just on my way home. After that, got a few little jobs to do. I'll explain more about that shortly. But for now, just pleased to build on that activity from Tuesday training. Anybody that watched will know how good I felt after getting in a 10k to attack the day. Always the best way, but on a Wednesday it's about getting involved with Do Running, the running club I lead here in Nottingham, and just trying to motivate those around me to take time out from the conventional working week, the stresses of family life, of work and anything else that's going on. So that's what I've been doing. Really happy that I'm feeling good about my running again. It's not been the case just recently. Again, anybody that's been looking in will know last week, really sort of frustrated because running for the last few years has been my go-to and it didn't work for me. It let me down. I didn't quite know how that made me feel, but this week I've been so much better. And I almost feel like after a tricky start to the year in the running sense, absolutely flying in terms of the way I feel. Feeling really good about life and the things I'm doing and enjoying them, but I feel like I'm getting into marathon training mode and I can really sort of set about my training and my diet and get into things and start feeling even better, because I know when I'm running and when I'm running well and strong, I feel absolutely amazing. Probably never felt this good in my life, and not being wishy-washy there, but probably living the best time of my life at the moment. Of course, I'm getting married to Kay this year. Got lots to sort of look forward to in that sense. But like when I do run, that can only add even more to it. So feels great to be back on top of that to some degree. I wouldn't quite say I've cracked it, because I definitely haven't, but it feels great to be making strides with it and feeling good about what I'm doing. I've actually arranged to meet up with some guys in the morning, including Kay, to go for a run around the river, again to attack the day, to keep that spirit going. And it's important we do that, isn't it? It's important we keep the momentum going. Wednesdays are quite often about momentum. We start the week with a bit of motivation to get going on Do Daily, and then it becomes about Tuesday training, Wednesday workout. Whilst it is a chance to sort of break everything down, check in where we're at, it's also the chance to keep going as well, just to keep pushing through when things aren't quite working out. If they are going well, just to keep making even more of it. And that's what I'm going to try and do tomorrow. Got a busy day ahead tomorrow, lots of exciting things this week, so it's part of the reason I'm in a good mood. It's probably part of the reason it's helping me stay motivated for the running. But for today, it's just about getting that 5k in. Took the pace off just a little bit, knowing I'm going out early. So again, just finding ways to make it work for me. If you can get out there, definitely encourage it. Definitely worth taking some time, even if you're having a particularly busy week or a stressful week. It's worth taking some time back for yourself to make things a bit better. Sometimes if we don't, it's almost a bit like false economy, isn't it? We end up sort of in an even worse place because we feel we can't take the time, we can't stop what we're doing. But by getting out, even if it's just for a walk, I'm out walking now just to sort of finish off before finishing the day, and again I'm feeling brilliant for doing it. So definitely encourage it on a Wednesday. What I will say, of course, anyone that's tuned in for a part 1 vlog, been doing those recently, been really well taken to. I've been done 10 now, I think. I've got a playlist, check that out. I'll post it up at the top there somewhere. People tend to like them, get to see what I'm doing at the weekend. One of my other real loves is park run amongst all this activity. So I'd normally be doing that on a Wednesday. I've been posting those, again trying to just keep people ticking over, check back at the weekend, check back what I've been doing. But I didn't actually, because of where I was, because of the way I was feeling last week, just wanted to put the selfie stick down and kind of get a confidence boosting time in managed to improve for the 4th time in 4 weeks, which is what the vlog's all about, Project Part 1 PB. The Wednesday episodes, it's about just getting myself into training mode, picking up the pace a little bit, knowing that my fitness is starting to come back, whilst this whole running thing these days is not necessarily about pace, it's not necessarily about running fast. It's about improving to a point where I feel happy within myself, and there's still things I want to achieve. I make no bones about that. So really enjoying those. Apologies for not doing that today. Like I said, I just had to do what was right for me at the weekend, and it was important to get out for a run, put the stick down, and take something from it, take that little bit extra from it to get me back to where I am. I spoke yesterday on Do Daily about my morning and how it really sort of picked me up, how having something to do later on and that the endorphins flowing and the excitement all mixed together really worked. And again, it's just taking me through it, but it was a slow build up from the end of last week. Last week was a tough one. Not going to dwell on that too much because it's been and gone now, and we can only do the next thing. That's what these motivations are about, moving from one to the other. Monday motivation, Tuesday training, Wednesday workout. Of course, I throw in Thursday thoughts. Again, it'll be slightly different tomorrow. No live question and answers. I'm actually at a big event that I've been organising, really looking forward to it. Another thing that's kept me sort of positive and happy, and it's going to contribute to my London Marathon fundraising effort, so really sort of pleased about that. Really looking forward to it turning out with a degree of success with the people I've worked on with, so that's really exciting. So I'll be out and about vlogging. Of course, it's my personal opinions, thoughts, on how we can stay positive and sort of stay on top of things. Incidentally, today is actually 2 years I've been doing Do Daily, 2 whole years every day, and I think the biggest thing I can take from today is that consistency's really paid off. Whilst things haven't always gone to plan in my personal life, and I'd like to be that little bit more articulate sometimes with the things I say, at least I do this, at least I get a chance to process my thoughts. Touched on being articulate there. I'm not being down on myself, but the reality is the way I think things in my head don't naturally translate, because I'm getting out of my comfort zone, and I started this to get out of my comfort zone. I wanted to improve. I wanted to become more confident, despite the fact I do it. I'm not the most out there, and I can be a little bit shy, naturally shy. It's come out of me a lot in the last few years. A lot of the running and meeting new people has helped with that, but this was to help me improve my confidence, but also because of COVID. Leading running groups, doing the things I do. I've wanted to find a way to keep motivating and inspiring people to just check in, just to understand that they can still do things. There were still ways around it. Started this at the start of the pandemic, and it's, if I'm honest, it's not been easy. It really hasn't been easy. It's one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my life. Talking for 10-15 minutes without a break and without any sort of pre-plans. I tend to say what's on my mind. Something might have inspired me during the day, something might have made me think, oh, that's worth talking about, but it's definitely no script, non-scripted. So I really sort of enjoy the fact it's been 2 years. Really proud of myself as well. It's not easy. It is one of the hardest things I've had to do, and now it is part of my routine. Love doing it, love the fact it's been so long, but that consistency just proves that I can do absolutely anything. And if I can take that consistency into everything else I do, I'll be just fine, won't I? Just keep working at it, keep working hard. It's a rough diamond, it's not the finished article, far from it, but I'll keep giving it my best, trying to help and support, and like I say, build my own confidence. 2 full years, it's crazy really. A little message came up saying I've had 10,000 watch hours from YouTube. That's incredible. And of course, I'm always looking to build on those subscribers and views and things like that. It's part of what YouTube's about. Some people sort of play that down and say, don't do it for that. Well, not necessarily do it for that. I told you the main reasons I do it is to support others and to improve my own confidence, but it's all part of it as well, isn't it? There'd be no point doing it if you didn't want to get better at what you was doing. So if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. That would be amazing. There's lots of new subscribers today. You know, one of the things this has done, and I want to talk about this today because it's important. I mentioned back at the start there about how I'm almost living the time of my life. You know, and one thing I've been able to integrate through Do Daily is my other passions, my other enjoyments in life. I've always been a massive football fan. And I never expected when I started 2 years ago that had kind of become a massive part of what I do. And I'll explain this, but when I did the running for the first 4 or 5 years, there was never a real example of it tying in and being part of it. It was just one of those things where I did one thing, I enjoyed things separately. But I've been lucky through doing this through doing a YouTube channel to meet other YouTubers, people who understand the process and kind of what I'm going through in terms of understanding and learning and those kind of things. And I've spoken to a lot of people who talk about football. It's a massive subject on YouTube, and it's led me to people who are now real friends. I always talk about how much I'm getting from Forest at the moment, just across the river there, opposite where I'm at actually. But I always talk about that. But doing the YouTube channel has actually led me to like-minded YouTubers, which is a crazy thing because it was all about inspiration and motivation and encouragement. But it's become a little bit more than that still. Do you know, it's important now that I can tie all those things in because I get even more always talking about making the absolute most, enjoying the things we do, and I get a chance to do that. One of my sort of biggest allies with this is Mr. Daw. If you're not familiar with him, if you've not seen him on YouTube, you probably haven't if you're not a football fan. He's a really, really good Forest YouTuber. Again, like myself, not trained, just doing it because it's his passion, doing it because it's something he loves. He's always telling me to do a football channel because I'd be great at it. I probably would, but that's not what I feel my purpose and intention is with this. You know, I want to support and encourage people who've been on a similar journey, you know, and wanting to find a better way to do things. That's all I'm trying to do. Try not to preach, try not to tell anybody that they need to do it this way. I don't always get it right. Today, on the 2nd anniversary, I could try and make a big deal of what I'm doing here, but I'm just trying to be real, you know, realistic, honest and relatable to what everybody experiences, because we all essentially we all experience the same things. You know, it's just quite often we deal with them in different ways. We're creatures of emotion, you know, and feeling, and that's understandable. I'm not saying everybody's got to do everything the same and accept it the same, but when you find certain ways to do things which work for you, you know, there's no better feeling. And when you can take enjoyment even more from the things you do, like I say, that thing with the whole crossover between meeting football YouTubers when I never planned to do that, but now I spend a lot of time. Lots of football fans actually subscribe to this channel because of that. And one story I will tell you today is I've had a mass influx because Mr. Daw himself, being the character he is, has dared me to wear a full football kit at a football match in 10 days time if I get 500 subscribers. I thought it was impossible, but then he told me when he had a similar deal a few years ago, it happened in a few hours. Already today I think I've had 80 odd subscribers, and I'm looking at the prospect of wearing a full kit. Anybody who does know a bit about football knows grown men don't wear full football kits, and stick a W on the end of that, you become an FKW. Make your mind up what that means, but I'm sure you can imagine. So again, it's all a bit of fun, it's all a bit of sort of taking me in different directions, doing different things, but again, I'm at that point in my life where I'm content with what I am. I don't want to necessarily wear a full kit, but I'm happy and content, and I'm really, really enjoying what I do. And when we're here, you know, doing that, I feel like there'll never be a point I don't do this. Perhaps there will one day, perhaps things will come along that stop me. One thing this has done as well, another real positive, it's led me to new opportunities along with new people, a whole new circle of friends around my football passion, still involved with my running people, and they're connected with those friends as well. Those that are interested in both have kind of tied up, but it's also led me to different opportunities. Now I do some sort of, I won't say media work because that makes it sound a bit more than what it is, but do some sort of interviewing around football, and again, just adding a little bit more to that. I get to meet even more people, people from different circles, and just sort of building my confidence. Also, opportunities to earn a little bit of money from it as well. So, for the first 18 months or so, this was really tough. It was sometimes tough as well to understand people's reaction to it. It doesn't always bring along the support you expect it will do from the start. You think all your friends are there and they'll get behind you and they'll say, yeah, that's great, or they'll tell you where you're getting it wrong and advise you how you could do it better. But the reality is, some people aren't like that, are they? They'll criticise and they'll mock and they'll question what you're doing, and they're not like what you say when you're trying to be honest, especially. And the subjects I talk about, I get quite deep sometimes without being preachy, but it gets quite deep. So, never expected that side of it, but the one thing I've learned is there is good people as well that are around you, and those opportunities and the friends and a little bit of money, I won't lie to you. We all need to work, we all need to sort of earn. It's absolutely fantastic. I make sacrifices in my own life, and I don't want no credit for this. I make sacrifices to do some of the things I do. I get a lot of criticism. People think I do it for this reason, that reason, or the other. But going back to that point of why I really do it, to build my own confidence and to support people. I didn't want people to suffer during the pandemic like I've suffered at certain points without a pandemic. I understood from the outset how tough that was going to be, so it was important for me to do whatever I could. So all that side, in the last 6 months has kind of diminished because, I'm getting something from it. I'm getting so much from it. I was getting so much then, from the start. I realised when I said, if this helps one person, I've done my job here. It does help one person because it helps me. It gives me a chance to process my thoughts, get it all off my chest. When things aren't quite going so well, like last week, sort of resort back to my own advice. It's easy sometimes to talk and tell people what to do. We all know the right answers, but putting actions into practice, when you're not feeling it, when you're not feeling good. I mentioned there about the running last week. Running let me down. It felt I could have easily spiralled out of control and got to a point, but I had to go back to basics. For me, it was starting a brand new walking challenge. I didn't even want to walk anyway before lockdown and before Do Daily, but it became part of it, and it's pulled me out of a slump bit by bit. Not doing the vlog on Saturday, whilst it's important to do it, and I kind of missed the fact I haven't done it. It's been great today to explain a bit more about how these 2 years have worked and how it works for me. Some people will never get it. That's fine. I've come to the point where I absolutely accept that now. It's absolutely fine. I've learned that people don't always... people sometimes have their own agenda, whether it's with what you're doing or with you or with themselves. So you just have to realise that not everybody is going to be your best friend. Perhaps a little... I won't say I was naive, because I've never been naive in terms of things like that, but a bit naive to think that some people around me would sort of enjoy it a bit more than they do. But it really doesn't matter, because there is those it works for, and like I say, it definitely works for me. I've got a nice core of real supporters, people who really get behind it, watch it every day, and that's fantastic. They can help me build it, and these newbies who are jumping on board to get me into a full kit, they can too. You never know sometimes. It's just about trying certain things. I work really, really hard in the background to learn to become a little bit more articulate about the things I say I'm not particularly articulate about. I work really hard in listening to other people. I don't find it an easy listen sometimes. I have to sort of process all of that and understand how it works into what I'm trying to do here. But I'm prepared to admit my mistakes when I get it wrong, say it, and go again. It's a term you'll hear me say a lot, we go again, because it's so important, isn't it? We can't look backwards. I've only touched on the feeling I've had last week, this week, because it's not worth dwelling on. The good stuff, if we dwell on that, we'll remember it for longer, we'll take it forward and we'll really, really enjoy it. And that's what I'm really keen to do. So what I will say, thank you for whatever reason you subscribe. Thank you to everybody who watches. Thank you for the support. It has been needed. I've had my moments in those 2 years whilst things have really sort of built to the point I've mentioned throughout of feeling like I'm having the time of my life. The engagement, the running club's coming back, post-COVID, a relative degree of success we do daily, and Forest absolutely storming it at the moment, and all those people I get to enjoy it with. That's all making for happy days and a happy time, and I'll just keep going. I'll just keep trying to be that little bit better every day. I'd love to have one of these really, really inspiring motivational videos or stood in front of people talking, but if I do want that, seriously, I have to keep working hard. 2 years, 500 and something episodes, 10,000 hours of watch time proves that when I put my mind to it, I can be ultra consistent and do what I want to do. So until tomorrow, like I say, no live episode, I'll be back with a few words, just checking in, doing what I do, saying what I say, encouraging, finding something to be inspired by, something to try and inspire you guys by. I'll be back just doing it.